is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, Vice President Sara Duterte is firing back at the International Criminal Court, calling the ICC a lapdog of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Antonio Trillanes IV. Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta has declared a humanitarian emergency after a massive surge of migrants from Morocco overwhelmed local facilities. In northwest Pakistan, at least 11 police officers are dead and dozens more wounded following a heavy militant attack on a police checkpoint. Drivers in the western Syrian city of Latakia are facing hours-long queues at petrol stations as fuel shortages re-emerge during peak tourist season. Back home, Malacanang clarifies that consultations for the proposed packed silica project in Capas Tarlac are still ongoing, with local officials in affected communities adding that some provisions may still be modified. U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled the Freedom Holders Initiative, aiming to fast-track commercial driver's licenses for military veterans while replacing non-citizen truckers on African highways. And in the world of sports, Southern Brave extended their perfect start in the women's 100 following a 24-run victory over the Birmingham Phoenix. I'm Prince Tripoli. Newsline World starts now. Our first story, Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta is facing an acute humanitarian and security crisis after thousands of migrants surge across coastal frontiers, overwhelming reception facilities and prompting calls for national emergency declarations. Real Parba has the story.
Chaotic scenes unfolded along the coast of Ceuta on Thursday as hundreds of migrants swam around the breakwaters of Tarajal Beach and scaled perimeter barriers to reach the Spanish enclave from Morocco. Emergency services, Guardia Civil officers, and military personnel mobilized along the waterfront, rescuing individuals from hazardous sea current, administering first aid, and securing perimeter points as municipal infrastructure reached complete operational capacity. Local officials confirmed that accommodation centers for unaccompanied minors are operating at more than 2,000% capacity, forcing hundreds of new arrivals to sleep outdoors. While Ceuta's regional leadership requested a formal national emergency declaration and requested armed forces deployments to reinforce border control, Spain's Interior Ministry rejected the emergency designation, clarifying that national civil protection laws do not cover migration flows. The surge marks the largest arrival event in the enclave since May 2021. While Spanish authorities deploy extra police units, Coast Guard cutters, and search teams, Moroccan security forces have used riot measures on their side of the border to disperse gathering crowds, as both governments coordinate under existing bilateral security protocols. This has been Virgil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
U.S. President Donald Trump has announced the Freedom Holders Initiative, a joint interagency program designed to expedite commercial driver's licenses for military veterans while replacing non-citizen drivers of American highways. Almar Pozuelo has the news from Washington.
U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled a new interagency workforce initiative titled Freedom Holders. The program establishes an expedited commercial driver's license pipeline for U.S. military veterans, allowing former service members with heavy vehicle experience to waive redundant driving exams and fast-track their transition into commercial free transport.
Under our brand new Freedom Haulers, we call it Freedom Haulers Initiative, any American who has driven a heavy truck for our military will automatically be eligible for a commercial driver's license. And it's good-paying jobs, too. Any veteran with a heavy vehicle experience from the military will now be eligible to skip redundant road tests to obtain a commercial driver's license.
The administration framed the initiative as both a veteran employment program and a public safety measure following tightened enforcement on non-domiciled driver credentials. Federal authorities reported that over 24,000 commercial licenses have been revoked due to English language proficiency non-compliance, alongside 28,000 licenses cancelled for proper issuance to non-citizens.
For many years, American highways and roadways have been terrorized by unqualified illegal aliens dangerously driving big rigs. As president, I made it our official policy to enforce English language requirements for truck drivers and support American truckers on American roadways. We've already removed more than 24,000 non-English speakers from behind the wheel.
Administered jointly by the Departments of Transportation, Veterans Affairs, Labor, and War, the program extends the military skills waiver application window from 12 to 24 months post-service. Major freight and logistics corporations, including UPS, FedEx, and Werner Enterprises, have backed the national recruitment drive to integrate military personnel into the domestic supply chain. Reporter for Newsline World, Almar Forsualo, SMNI News.
The U.S. Navy aircraft carrier USS George Washington has docked in Da Nang for a 5-day port visit, reaffirming bilateral defense ties with Vietnam despite recent tariff friction and global geopolitical turmoil. Faith Agustin reports.
The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS George Washington docked at Chen Sa Port in Da Nang on Thursday, marking the 4th U.S. aircraft carrier visit to Vietnam since 1975. Accompanied by the guided missile cruiser USS Robert Smalls and destroyer USS Shoup, the carrier strike group brings over 5,000 American sailors to the central coastal city for professional naval exchanges, cultural programs, and community engagement events.
The United States Navy is committed to operating in these waters and to being here in Da Nang. We value these port visits, we value our relationship with Vietnam, and we are here to strengthen ties and build trust as we work alongside our partners in this vital region.
The naval stopover proceeds under the framework of the 2023 U.S.-Vietnam Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, even as economic relations face strain following a 12.5% tariff imposed under Washington's updated labor compliance regulations. While Hanoi's Ministry of Foreign Affairs explicitly rejected the policy justification, both nations prioritize maritime security cooperation and freedom of navigation across the Indo-Pacific during high-level welcoming ceremonies aboard the warship.
The U.S. and Vietnam share a strong interest in maintaining the freedom of navigation, overflight, and other lawful use of the sea. As Acting Secretary of the Navy, Hung Cao has emphasized, peace is pursued through strength, and we have a shared opportunity to deepen maritime partnerships that advance security for generations to come.
The visit highlights ongoing diplomatic attempts to isolate strategic defense collaboration from trade disputes. With carrier strike group activities continuing through August 5th, naval leadership from both countries emphasized that regional stability remains a shared operational goal amid shifting international dynamics. This has been Faith Agustin, your global citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Protesters gathered in the southeastern city of Yambol to denounce the temporary stationing of U.S. Air Force KC-135 refueling tankers and military personnel at Besmer Air Base, warning that the deployment drags Bulgaria closer to Middle East conflicts. Rahil Parba has the details.
Demonstrations erupted in the Bulgarian city of Yambol as local residents and political activists gathered to protest the temporary deployment of U.S. Air Force KC-135 aerial refueling tankers and military personnel at the nearby Bizmes Air Base. Waving Bulgarian flags, lighting flares, and holding banners demanding American troops leave the Bulgaria, demonstrators voiced outrage over the government's decision to host foreign military assets linked to ongoing operations in the Middle East.
Ще отговарят за национално предателство. Но пак казвам, тези хора не решават. Тези ги използват и накрая ги изхвърлят като салфетки.
The protest followed the Bulgarian parliament's approval on July 22nd, authorizing up to 8 U.S. KC-135 tanker aircraft and 250 military personnel to operate the Bizmes Air Base through October 1st. Opposition figures from the nationalist Vasrasdane party and local municipal leaders have strongly criticized the move, arguing that using Bulgarian infrastructure to support overseas mission escalates security risk for surrounding communities and compromises national sovereignty.
Моите хора са малцинство в страната ни и непрекъснато продажните управляващи ги тласкат навън. Те им обясняват, няма смисъл да живеете тук, няма смисъл да се борите, да ходите по протести, няма смисъл да имате достоинство и да се жертвате в името на България, в името на интересите на българския народ.
Bulgarian defense officials have pushed back against the criticism, emphasizing that the logistical deployment falls within the framework of the bilateral 2006 Bulgaria-US Defense Cooperation Agreement. Authorities maintain that the aerial tankers are strictly assigned to non-combat refueling support and that no offensive weapon systems will be deployed on Bulgarian territory. This has been Verhil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Long queues have returned to petrol stations across the western Syrian city of Latakia, stocking fears of renewed fuel crisis amid peak tourist season and growing disruption to local transport services. Angie De Leon for the story.
Long queues of passenger cars and commercial vehicles stretched along roadsides in the western Syrian city of Latakia Thursday as drivers endured hours-long delays to refuel. Local transport operators and residents are frustrated over persistent supply bottlenecks, long wait times under sweltering summer heat, and a lack of clear operational scheduling at regional filling stations, disrupting daily livelihoods and burdening seasonal visitors during peak summer tourism.
من الصبح ناطرين احنا على البنزين، من الساعة تقريبا احنا قبل 6 احنا واقفين هنا. اجت العالم في منها فاتت بالدور من دون دور كليتها. حكينا هلا مع الشباب قلنا لهم يا شباب والله العظيم احنا من الصبح احنا واقفين. نتمنى من دولتنا انه مثل ما اقول تأمن لنا شويه بنزين او تسهل امورنا، والله من الصبح انا واقفين لسه والله لا اخذنا خبوز، اذا ما يشتغل ما فيها اشياء الامور هذا كلها. يعني الامور المعدومه هي صفر هاي والله.
Addressing the mounting supply strain, Syria's Ministry of Energy confirmed that a tanker carrying over 37,000 metric tons of gasoline arrived at the Banias oil terminal in neighboring Tartus province Thursday. Technical teams have begun offloading operators to dispatch fuel allotments across all governorates. However, civil society monitors report that congestion remains severe in Latakia, Aleppo, and Hasaka, where localized summary depletion continues to trigger station closures and informer market price spikes.
أنا من الساعة 8 إلا ربع واقف هون، لو ما الحاجة ما ضيعت وقتي هالقد. أنا ما بشتغل على السيارة بس لأني مسافر. ثاني شيء يعني بتيجي بتوقف ما حدا بيعطيك جواب، ايه لا استنى روح تعال بعدين، يعني زي ما بيقولوا طاسة ضايعة ومجبور انت تستنى. والله يعين باقي العالم اللي بيبقى عنده شغل شو بده يعمل. يعني انا بالنسبة لي ما عندي، قاعد وقت العازة بس بيجي بعد.
While Energy Ministry officials insist that ongoing marine shipments and Mediterranean ports will stabilize national inventories in the coming days, local driver and public transport operators continue to urge stricter oversight at fuel pumps to enforce orderly distribution and prevent unauthorized queue cutting. Angie De Leon, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
In Pakistan, at least 11 police officers died and more than 24 others injured after militants launched a heavy ambush on a police checkpoint. The Pakistani government and military leaders condemned the shocking violence. Verhil Parba reports.
A heavy militant assault targeted the Kasina police checkpoint in Hangdu district, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, near the Afghan border. Police said militants first deployed explosive-laden drones before opening fire with heavy weapons from multiple directions. Reinforcement units led by DSP DR Khan were ambushed while rushing to the checkpoint, triggering hours of intense firefights. A local hospital declared an emergency to treat the wounded, with officials saying 33 officers received treatment. Most were later discharged. Police reported 11 officers killed, including DSP DR Khan, while security forces said 15 militants were also killed in the clash. Government and military leaders condemned the attack and honored the fallen officers. Security forces have since launched search and clearance operations across the border region as authorities vow to target active militant cells along the Afghan frontier. This has been Virgil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Emergency crews, helicopters, and local volunteers are fighting a fast-moving wildfire in northern Portugal that is inching dangerously close to residential homes. The fire triggered emergency operations with firefighters battling. Daniela Politi has the updates.
A severe wildfire in northern Portugal crept close to homes near Armidas on Thursday, triggering urgent containment operations. Thick smoke blanketed the area as firefighters, aircraft, and local volunteers worked to cut fire breaks and protect homes. Some residents evacuated, while others helped emergency crews with hoses and buckets. The fire comes amid a widespread wildfire crisis across southern Europe, fueled by intense heat waves. In Spain, Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez said more than 150,000 hectares have burned since January. In France, a major blaze near Bordeaux scorched about 42,000 hectares and forced more than 220,000 people to evacuate. Portuguese civil protection authorities remain on high alert as hot, dry conditions and shifting winds continue to fuel fire risk. Firefighters are maintaining containment operations around Armidas, with the residential areas remaining the top priority. Reporting for Newsline World, Daniela Paulita, SMNI News.
Up next, Vice President Sara Duterte is firing back at the International Criminal Court, calling the ICC a lapdog of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Antonio Trillanes IV. Malacanang clarifies that consultations for the proposed Pax Silica project in Capas Tarlac are still ongoing with local officials and affected communities, adding that some provisions may still be modified. More news when Newsline World returns.
Pasasaan pa ang kalayaan kung ang mga alipin ngayon ay sila din naman mang-aalipin bukas.
Ibigin mo ang iyong bayan ng sunod kay Bathala, sa iyong kapurihan at higit sa lahat sa iyong sarili.
Hindi natin mapapalaya ang ating mga sarili maliban kung sumulong tayo na nagkakaisa sa iisang hangarin.
Ang tunay na makabayan ay ang tumutupad ng pagpapabuti ng kanyang mga kapwa, gaano man kaaba ang kanyang katungkulan. Naway magsilbing paalala ang kanilang mga salita upang lalo nating mahalin at tapat na paglingkuran ang minamahal nating inang bayan.
Hala, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Uy, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Ano kayang gagawin ko? Ipamimigay ko yung konti para tumigil sila sa pag-iingay.
Pare, magnanakaw, namimigay ng pera.
Eto ang sayo.
Wow! Ang bait ng magnanakaw!
Eto naman sayo.
Kuya, yung
eto
share ko!
Huwag ka nang maingay. Eto pa. Tama na yan. Nakikipalato lang kayo eh. Huwag nang maingay. Diba? Konti lang pinamigay ko, mabait na ako. Tahimik na sila. Easy. Ngayon, pwede ko na tong suluhin.
Masaya ang mga tao, pero tama po ba ito? Di po ba ang nakikinabang sa magnanakaw ay kasabwat ng magnanakaw?
Ikaw, kinukonsenti mo ba ang legal na korupsyon?
And we're back. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, is labeled as a lapdog of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Antonio Trillanes IV by the Vice President Sara Duterte. Angie De Leon has the latest update.
They are traitors to a Filipino and to the country. But more than that, ang ICC ay tuta ni Trillanes at ni Marcos. Yun yun.
This was the strong statement made by Vice President Sara Duterte during a gathering of Duterte supporters in The Hague, Netherlands, regarding the alleged coordination between President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Antonio Trillanes IV with the International Criminal Court, or ICC. VP Sara Duterte recalled the time she wrote to President Marcos asking why the ICC investigation in the Philippines was continuing. According to the Vice President, the President responded that the government would not cooperate with the ICC as it would violate national sovereignty. However, VP Sara insisted that what actually occurred contradicted his statement.
But did he follow through on what he said? He presented a letter, he released an official letter, but his left hand was doing other negotiations. He was doing exactly the opposite of his letter. He was allowing the investigation to happen, supported by the House of Representatives and Antonio Trillanes.
She also raised concerns over alleged corruption within the ongoing ICC investigation. VP Sara said there are affidavits from former soldiers and employees of Congressman Zaldico stating that funds were exchanged from pesos to dollars to be sent to ICC investigators.
Former soldiers, former employees of Congressman Zaldico already executed affidavits saying that they were told to exchange pesos to dollars because this will be delivered to the ICC investigators through Trillanes. And this is not hearsay because the person who did the delivery, who received the instructions, who went to the money exchange and exchanged for dollars, who delivered the money was the same person who talked to Zaldico.
The Vice President further maintained that political motives, rather than justice, are driving the ICC's actions.
Bakit ko nasabi? Natuta ni Marcos.
Wala na tayong pera!
Kasi sumusunod sino yun? Sumusunod sila kay Trillanes at Marcos. At hindi lang yan. Pinapanindigan pa nila yung kanilang pagsunod kay Marcos at kay Trillanes. And so, this is not about justice. This is about politics in the Philippines.
According to VP Sara, following former President Rodrigo Duterte, the ICC may potentially target several of his allies next.
Who's next? Bato. Next. Marcoleta. Next.
Dong Revilla!
Harry Roque. Bong Revilla, Jingo Estrada, Mike Defensor.
Yes!
You see the pattern?
Yes!
So this is all about politics. Marcos supporting ICC, ICC supporting
Angie De Leon, our global citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
There is still no major development in the case of former President Rodrigo Duterte at the International Criminal Court or ICC, according to Vice President Sara Duterte. Because of this, the Vice President has a request for the International Tribunal. Angie De Leon is back for more news.
The trial of former President Rodrigo Duterte at the ICC is set for November. However, Vice President Sara Duterte stressed that this is taking too long, as 1 year and 4 months have passed since the former president was detained.
That is too far along for us. We wanted an earlier trial date since he's been here 1 year and 4 months and nothing has happened, and there's no talk about his release pending the trial as well.
VP Sara hopes the ICC will recognize the presumption of innocence and speed up the trial process, especially given the former president's age.
We can only request and plead with them to speed up the trial because he is already 81 years old and he cannot afford to stay in detention for 3, 4, 5 years more.
VP Sara also admitted that their family remains angry over the way former President Duterte was allegedly taken to the ICC. While they are respecting the court process, she stated that their doubts remain regarding the ICC's objectivity in handling the case.
We are angry. The moment that he was taken, he was kidnapped from the Philippines, and we are still angry now. But we try to support the process since he is already under the ICC jurisdiction. We try to support it, but of course, as a daughter, as Filipinos, we have feelings about how objective the ICC and the officials, people inside the ICC is about the case, and of course, we feel that there was really an injustice with how he was taken from our country.
VP Sara also shared her worries that her father may not return alive to the Philippines if the trial drags on further.
There is always the possibility that he will pass inside the prison, and that is something that I already discussed with President Duterte. That is why he gave his instructions in case he dies in prison. But of course, as a Filipino, as a daughter, we want him to die in Philippine soil.
ICC Trial Chamber 3 set the formal trial against former President Duterte for November 30 of this year. Angie De Leon, your Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Senator Dante Marcoleta seeks to attend and vote in the ongoing impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. However, Senate President Win Gatchalian has issued a response regarding the matter. Tina Turner brings us the details.
Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano shared that Senator Dante Marcoleta sent a letter of manifestation to the Senate leadership. This was to formally request permission to personally attend and vote in the ongoing trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. However, Senate President Win Gatchalian stated he has taken no action on the matter. He explained that he has not received any official letter regarding the said request.
Wala namang formal request sa Senate. Naririnig lang natin, but wala naman ang formal request.
Gatchalian further clarified that while Marcoleta recently submitted a letter, it contained no formal request for his attendance.
So, ang kanyang letter is about his opinion on the presiding officer as well as yung opinion niya dun sa 16 votes.
Nevertheless, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo confirmed that Senator Marcoleta's letter of manifestation will be discussed in their caucus next week.
Initially, may nag-open na yan yesterday with the caucus sa office ni Senator Nick. Pag-uusapan definitely namin yan kasi paano senators pa rin yung mga yun, di ba?
For his part, Tulfo said he is open to allowing Marcoleta to attend and vote in the impeachment trial.
For me, personally, why not? Diba? Bakit sila pwedeng mag-attend ng trial? Senador pa rin po naman sila, di ba? Kaya binoto sila ng taong bayan, why not? Except siguro kung convicted na sila, yung trial pa lang naman, diba? Innocent at they're proven guilty ang sinasabi nga. So, they're still senators.
However, everything will still depend on the decision of the Sandigan Bayan on whether they will be granted permission to attend and vote in the impeachment trial. It can be recalled that both Senator Rodante Marcoleta and fellow minority member Senator Jinggoy Estrada are currently detained at the new Quezon City Jail in Payatas. Marcoleta was detained after the court issued an arrest warrant in connection with the plunder case. Meanwhile, Estrada was detained following his alleged involvement in kickbacks from the anomalous flood control projects. For God and for my beloved Philippines, this has been Sheena Torno, SMNI News.
Following reports that the proposed Pax Silica project was allegedly not presented to the local government of Capas Tarlac and affected communities, Malacanang clarified that the Bases Conversion and Development Authority or BCDA continues its consultations with LGUs and other stakeholders regarding the project. Joy Tabanao reports.
Consultations between the Bases Conversion and Development Authority or BCDA, local government units, and other stakeholders regarding the proposed Pax Silica project in New York Clark City remain ongoing. This was clarified by Malacanang following reports that the project was allegedly not presented to the local government of Capas, Tarlac, and affected indigenous peoples' communities. In a palace briefing on Thursday, Presidential Communications Office or PCO Undersecretary Claire Castro said they personally spoke with BCDA President and CEO Joshua Bincang to get the official response to issues raised against the project. According to Castro, Bincang stated that the BCDA has conducted preliminary meetings with local government units or LGUs and other government agencies regarding the development plans for New York Clark City, including the proposed Pax Silica project. The BCDA added that consultations are ongoing and they will continue working closely with stakeholders. At present, the BCDA is also undertaking ground assessment activities in the area to ensure that planning and decision-making are based on accurate data and carried out responsibly and properly.
These consultations are ongoing, and we will continue to work closely with these stakeholders as the project progresses. At present, BCDA is undertaking ground assessment activities in the area.
Regarding the statement of Capas Mayor Butch Rodriguez that the project plans have not yet been presented to their local government, as well as concerns over its potential environmental impact and effects on a local indigenous people's community, Castro said they have already relayed the mayor's message to Bincang.
So, kung meron pong pahatid na mensahe si Capas Mayor, pinaabot na rin po namin kay CEO Joshua Bincang para po maaga niya at mabilis niya makausap po si Capas Mayor.
The palace also assured that the government is carefully reviewing issues related to the proposed Pax Silica project. This includes concerns over power and water supply usage, as well as coordination with local stakeholders. When asked if the project is final, since it forms part of the Luzon Economic Corridor, agreed upon during the administration of former U.S. President Joe Biden and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s visit to Washington, Castro stated that changes may still be made to certain provisions of the project. She explained that some parts could be revised to better ensure maximum benefit for Filipinos and the country's partners. Meanwhile, the palace also denied that the ongoing review of the project would cause alarm among foreign investors. According to Castro, this is simply part of the process to ensure that all issues are properly addressed prior to implementation.
May chance po na mabago ang ibang mga provisions. Kung ano po yung maaari pang mas maging magandang idulot sa ating mga kababayan, sa bansang Pilipinas, and of course sa mga partners, yun naman po ay isa sa alang-alang.
Castro also encouraged those with reservations regarding the Pax Silica project to reach out to relevant government agencies to voice their concerns and seek appropriate solutions. This has been Joy Manao, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
When we return in the world of sports, Southern Brave extended their perfect start in the women's 100 following a 24-run victory over the Birmingham Phoenix. More news after the break.
Taon-taon,
kwento sa bawat kwento, katotohanan sa bawat katotohanan. Mula pa sa pasimula, malinaw ang aming misyon. Magbigay ng tamang impormasyon. Maglantad ng katotohanan. Manindigan. Sa lahat ng oras, lalo na't kinakailangan. Hindi lang minsang kinilala, kundi muli at muli. Sa likod ng bawat pagkilala ay katotohanang naibahagi. Isang tinig na narinig. Isang katotohanang umabot sa bawat Pilipino. Sa kabila ng nagbabagong panahon, sa kabila ng mga pagsubok, nananatili ang aming paninindigan. Ang pundasyon namin ay katotohanan. Ang lakas namin ay tiwala ng mamamayang Pilipino sa loob at labas ng bansa. Maraming salamat po. SMNI, para sa Diyos at sa Pilipinas nating mahal.
A cultural exchange event was led by the Chinese embassy to strengthen ties between China and the Philippines. Tea was featured as a symbol of friendship, unity, and the deepening of people-to-people ties between the two nations. Paul Montibon tells us more.
The Chinese embassy further strengthened its cultural diplomacy through the Tea for Harmony Yachi Cultural Salon. The activity aims to deepen mutual understanding and connections between the people of China and the Philippines through culture and tradition.
Tea is our culture. We have a tradition to drink tea for like 2,000 years, and it's more focused on harmony, right? More focused on friendship. So that means we hope that promote people-to-people exchange, culture exchange, introduce China's tea culture here, because so many people like drink tea. Myself is also a tea drinker. Every day I drink tea, and so we hope that no matter what happened, we're neighbors, we're friends. No matter what happened, we sit down, we meet with each other, have a cup of tea.
The program was attended by government officials, diplomats, representatives from various sectors, and other guests. According to the Chinese embassy, the program is part of its ongoing efforts to use culture as a bridge to fortify friendship. It also aims to broaden mutual understanding and further enhance people-to-people exchanges between the two nations amid issues in the South China Sea.
I strongly believe that China-Philippines, we're neighbors, we're friends. Should always support each other, help each other, learn from each other, have more visits, exchange. There's 1,000 reasons we should like each other, no any single reason we should hate each other. So that's why, since I came here, I work very hard, try to promote people-to-people exchange. So this first half of this year, Chinese people visited Philippines, and the number increased by 63%. And the Filipino people visit China, the total number increased by 49%. So more people visit each other country, and more have that kind of exchange, deepen their mutual understanding, and then treat each other like neighbors, friends. That's what I want to do.
The embassy also emphasized that China remains committed to peaceful and stable relations with neighboring countries, including Philippines. Despite challenges in bilateral relations over certain political and regional matters, Ambassador Tin Tian stated stated that China stays open to expanding dialogue, friendship, and cooperation with the Filipino people.
My job is to stabilize the relations, make it better, not worse. My job is to bring the people more closer, not even further away. So I strongly believe our two peoples, they're great peoples, and we're neighbors, we're friends. We should always like each other. There's no any reason for us to hate each other. So culture exchange, people to people, that's the foundation of our relations. So the first half of this year, all Chinese tourists, businessmen, all people came here. The number increased by 63% compared with last year, the same period. And the Filipino people visit China, the total number increased by 49%. And the total trade volume has increased 20%. And all those bad things, such as the kidnapping cases, the number dropped nearly 60%. So we have made a lot of progress to further stabilize our relations, to promote people-to-people exchange. But anyway, there's always some difficulties, challenge, political tension, maritime disputes. But anyway, tea, that's a bridge of culture. So when we have problems, when we have difficulties, let's sit down, have a cup of tea, let's talk face to face, address each other's concern.
The Tea for Harmony Yaji Cultural Salon is a global cultural exchange initiative by China that uses tea culture as a symbol of peace, friendship, and respect across diverse cultures. The term Yaji originates from a traditional elegant gathering that brings together tea, music, calligraphy, painting, and meaningful conversation. It reflects a philosophy of harmony, mutual respect, and peaceful coexistence among different cultures. Through a simple cup of tea, the Tea for Harmony Yaji Cultural Salon aims to further solidify friendship and mutual understanding between China and the Philippines. Proof, they say, that culture can serve as a bridge to deepen ties between the two nations. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Paul Montibon, SMNA News.
Ariana Grande has officially taken legal action against anonymous hackers who allegedly infiltrated the digital accounts of her close collaborators to steal and profit off her unreleased music videos, and behind-the-scenes footage. Meanwhile, pop superstar Katy Perry is officially bringing the high-octane energy of her sold-out tour to the big screen as her concert film, The Lifetime's Tour, live from Paris, prepares for a massive worldwide theatrical release across 70 countries on September. Faith Agustin has the showbiz.
Ariana Grande has filed a lawsuit in California against anonymous hackers who used phishing and digital breaches to steal, leak, and sell hundreds of her unreleased songs and photos online over the past decade. Ariana's legal team filed a lawsuit to unmask the perpetrators, prevent future leaks, recover stolen items, and seek damages for privacy invasion, data fraud, and civil theft to protect intellectual property rights. The lawsuit follows years of frustration from Grande, who previously called out music thieves during a 2024 interview after her unreleased track Fantasize went viral on TikTok. The lawsuit comes at a key moment for Ariana Grande as she prepares to release her 8th studio album Petal, co-written and produced with Swedish hitmaker Ilya. Meanwhile, after its successful premiere at the 2026 Tribeca Film Festival, Katy Perry's 132-minute concert film offers fans an all-access look at her 2025 performance at Paris's Accor Arena, featuring behind-the-scenes footages and her greatest hits. The visual spectacle is set to hit theaters on September 2, with U.S. audiences getting an exclusive, immersive IMAX screening experience. Directed by award-winning filmmaker Paul Dugdale, using a 60-camera setup, Katy Perry's concert film delivers a state-of-the-art, immersive cinematic experience of the Lifetime's tour. The concert film celebrates Katy Perry's massive 91-show tour for her album 143, her second highest grossing tour ever, with over $134 million raised, as global ticket sales for the theatrical release officially opened last July 30, 2026. This has been Faye Agustin, your global citizen correspondent, bringing you the latest show buzz.
The latest sports updates: defending champion Alex de Minaur moved into the Washington Open quarterfinals after defeating fellow Australian Cruz Hewitt in their first ATP Tour meeting. Meanwhile, Southern Brave extended their perfect star in the women's 100 with a 24-run victory over Birmingham Phoenix. Carlo de la Peña tells us more.
Top-seeded Alex de Minaur cruised past 17-year-old qualifier Cruz Hewitt 6-2, 6-3 to continue his Washington Open title defense. The Australian raced to a 5-0 lead in the opening set before Hewitt, the son of former world number 1 Leighton Hewitt, briefly fought back. De Minaur, however, stayed in control to seal the straight sets victory. After the match, De Minaur said facing Hewitt felt weird because of their long history through Australia's Davis Cup setup, adding that he expects many more battles against the rising teenager in the future. De Minaur advances to the quarterfinals, where he will face American Brandon Nakashima for a place in the semifinals. Meanwhile, Southern Brave improved to 4-0 after posting 140 and limiting Birmingham Phoenix to 116 in a dominant all-around performance. Lizelle Lee led the batting with a quick-fire 43, Maya Vauchier added 45, while Jemima Rodriguez provided a late surge to lift the total. Phoenix threatened early through Divina Parent's half-century, but Southern Braves bowlers turned the tide, with Georgia Adams, Amanda Jade Wellington, Sarah Glenn, and Sophie Molyneux applying the pressure to seal the win. The victory keeps Southern Brave unbeaten and atop the standings, while Birmingham Phoenix remains winless at the bottom of the table. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña bringing you the latest sports news.
Before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the song. Start strong, finish strong. Quitting is not an option. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Prince Tripoli. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.